welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're bypassing all those flashy get-rich-quick myths and breaking down the specific traits, systems, and realities that actually drive financial success. I'm so excited you're here because today we're just stripping away all the noise. We're going to look strictly at the data and patterns derived from our source material to figure out what really moves the needle when it comes to building wealth.
It's literally the ultimate question, isn't it? We've all asked ourselves this, especially when we feel like we're working incredibly hard but just kind of not getting ahead. You look at someone who's achieved real financial freedom and you wonder what exactly differentiates them. Is it just raw intelligence? Some secret formula? Well, let's dive into this and uncover exactly what makes the difference.
So here's our roadmap for This Explainer. First, the wealth differentiator. Then, thinking beyond the clock. Next, the power of leverage. After that, the elephant in the room. Then habits that destroy wealth. And finally, the ultimate wealth formula. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The Wealth Differentiator. First up, financially successful people absolutely think long-term. They're laser-focused on building assets and, practicing delayed gratification, not just earning a quick paycheck. But the real magic word here is compounding. A lot of wealth is actually built very slowly. They understand that it's not just about letting money compound, but letting their skills and their relationships compound over decades. They really aren't looking for that instant reward, they're playing the long game.
Now, because they've got this long-term mindset, they actually act sooner. A lot of folks just get stuck in endless analysis paralysis, right? Waiting for the perfect moment or that flawless business plan. Successful people, on the other hand, test ideas early. They run small, scrappy experiments. They know that these little tests can eventually snowball into massive outcomes, mainly because they're getting real-world feedback instead of just theoretical perfection.
And while they're out there acting, they are absolutely obsessive about learning. Strong wealth builders are constantly educating themselves on markets, business, psychology, negotiation, taxes, and just identifying opportunity. And what's fascinating is how this knowledge compounds exactly like money. Understanding psychology helps you in negotiation, which helps you in business, which helps you navigate taxes. It's this whole interconnected web of high-impact learning.
Ultimately, it comes down to how they make decisions. They make way fewer impulsive choices, focusing instead on calculated risk-taking and exceptional downside management. They aren't out there gambling or taking reckless risks. They're taking intelligent risks where they know exactly what they stand to lose, and they ensure that the potential upside far, far outweighs it.
Moving on to Section 2, Thinking Beyond the Clock. This is where we need a massive paradigm shift. We really need to step away from that toxic hustle culture idea that simply working more hours magically equals more wealth. The financially successful are constantly asking themselves one specific question: how can I become more valuable? They actively seek to increase their value to the market rather than just increasing the number of hours they clock in. It's a fundamental shift in how you view your own output and your daily grind.
Because think about it, when your income is tied solely to your time, it's incredibly hard to scale. You only have 24 hours in a day, right? The Wealth Builder focuses instead on acquiring rare skills, solving really expensive problems for people, and owning something. That means owning a business, holding equity, or creating intellectual property. When you own something, your earning potential is completely uncapped from your physical time.
All right, Section 3, the power of leverage. To truly detach your earning potential from the hours in a day, you need a mechanism to multiply your effort. And that brings us to leverage. This definition is everything. Leverage is exactly what allows successful people to make money work for them. It multiplies your effort and output without requiring a proportional increase in your own sweat and personal labor. It is, for sure, the ultimate tool for scaling your impact.
So what does this actually look like? Well, the most common forms of leverage allow you to scale massively. You can use money through investing, you can use people by building teams, and today, honestly, more powerfully than ever, you can use technology, media, content, and automated systems. By building systems using these specific forms of leverage, you can scale your outcomes far beyond what you could ever achieve with just your own two hands. A piece of content or a software system is out there working for you while you're literally sleeping.
Now for Section 4, the elephant in the room.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to pause for a massive reality check. It's one that online success gurus often conveniently ignore. The honest truth, as noted directly in our source material, is that luck and starting conditions are huge, often invisible factors in anyone's financial journey. There's no single trait that guarantees success, and we absolutely have to acknowledge that luck and opportunity matter a lot.
Just consider these starting conditions from the source text: your family stability, your access to education, geography, timing, your networks, your health, and even just random lucky breaks. These dictate your trajectory just as much as hard work does. It's vital to understand this, not as an excuse to give up, but as a really realistic lens to view your own journey and the journeys of others. It grounds us in reality.
Okay, Section 5, Habits that Destroy Wealth.
Now that we're firmly grounded in reality, let's look at the common anti-patterns that will actively sabotage your financial progress regardless of your starting point. There is a stark, unforgiving contrast between builders and destroyers. Builders invest for the future. They cultivate immense patience, and they focus on creating value. Destroyers, however, fall into lifestyle inflation and high-interest debt. They're constantly chasing quick money instead of having patience. And perhaps most dangerously, they fall into the trap of consuming way more than they create. If you find yourself consistently practicing those destructive habits, no amount of income is going to outpace them.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, the ultimate wealth formula. So, if we strip away all the noise, avoid those destructive habits, and synthesize everything we've looked at today, this beautifully simple yet incredibly powerful model emerges. 1. Skill. You have to develop rare, valuable skills. 2. Discipline. You need the discipline to manage your downside, continuously learn, and avoid wealth-destroying habits. 3. Leverage. You must apply money, people, tech, or systems to multiply your effort. And 4. Time. You just have to give it all time to compound. Skill plus discipline plus leverage plus time, that combination is absolutely unstoppable.
The author of our source text shared this quote, and honestly, it perfectly captures the entire essence of this explainer. Poor people often trade time for money. Wealthy people often build systems that make money. It entirely separates those who are endlessly working for money from those who have figured out exactly how to make money work for them. So, as you reflect on the mechanics we've unpacked today, from compounding and calculated risks to the absolute necessity of leverage, I want you to really look at your own career and your daily habits. I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you just trading your time on the clock, or what specific systems are you going to start building today?